In front of me lies half a duck, deceitfully passed off as lamb. Today, I'll expose how deceitful vendors in barbecue shops use duck meat to mimic lamb skewers. Start by preparing half a frozen duck and a bit of lamb tail oil. Then, remove the duck skin with a knife and slice the meat into small pieces. Next, cut the lamb tail oil into similar-sized pieces and mix them together in a bowl. Add ginger slices to remove any gaminess, followed by salt for seasoning and lamb marinade. Add 2 drops of lamb essence using a straw, being careful not to overdo it. With these ingredients, the duck meat transforms into lamb, even mimicking its flavor. Mix in some egg white thoroughly. Skip the compound phosphate for moisture retention and add cumin powder instead. Let it marinate for 30 minutes. Skewer the meat according to the ratio of 3 times meat to 2 times fat. Brush with oil and grill or bake at 220 degrees for 15 minutes. The skewers are nearly ready. In recent years, unethical Chinese vendors have been devising new methods of fraud and deceit to make substantial profits. Today, let's explore some of these deceptive tactics used for financial gain. It's bound to be enlightening and may challenge your perceptions. However, it's important to emphasize that our purpose is solely to uncover these fraudulent practices in the industry and provide guidance on how to identify them. Please do not imitate these practices. Fake lamb. A previous viral video shared online by a restaurant owner confidently demonstrates how to counterfeit lamb meat using duck, a not uncommon practice in China. The widespread existence of counterfeit products in China is a glaring reality, and amidst this disturbing trend, the pervasiveness of counterfeit food products emerges as a deeply troubling issue. The proliferation of food fraud not only poses a serious threat to public health but also fosters a pervasive atmosphere of mistrust within society. Today, let's shed light on some of the shocking instances of counterfeit food items that plague the Chinese food market, igniting justified anger and outrage. Let's begin with the fake lamb that you saw at the beginning of the video. How do they produce counterfeit lamb jerky? When it comes to meat, the prevalence of fake lamb in counterfeit lamb chops has become a major concern for consumers in recent times. At a lamb processing facility, reporters had to clandestinely document the utterly appalling lack of hygiene. What they uncovered was beyond shocking: fresh cuts of meat carelessly mixed with putrid, decomposing scraps, some so repulsive they wouldn't even be fit for feeding to animals, let alone humans. This flagrant disregard for basic sanitation standards is not just infuriating, it's an outright betrayal of trust. Consumers rightfully expect food to be safe and uncontaminated, yet these images expose a callous disregard for public health and safety that is utterly reprehensible. During the meat processing stage, lamb is sorted based on its various cuts and then distributed into the market after undergoing inspections. However, certain businesses, in a bid to save costs, resort to blending low-quality or even spoiled meat with chemical additives like flavorings during processing. In terms of taste and appearance, these fraudulent lamb chops closely mimic the real ones, making it nearly impossible to distinguish between them. Some unscrupulous businesses utilize an enzyme as a binding agent, blending duck and chicken meat with beef along with the appropriate seasoning to create counterfeit lamb chops, further adding to the outrage of consumers. Fake beef. The deceitful tactics employed by individuals seeking profit from counterfeit goods extend beyond lamb to include the more commonly consumed beef. Today, we're going to deceive people by using duck meat instead of beef. Let's see how this deceitful scheme unfolds. Our aim is not authenticity, so let's start by removing the duck's webbed feet. We'll season it with salt, chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, 5-spice seasoning, and a touch of concentrated beef broth for an illusion of authenticity. The beef flavor might be too overpowering, so let's throw in some yeast extract for an extra kick. Adding a bit of beef powder should intensify the deception. And of course, let's not forget the preservatives, just in case we can't sell it all today and need it to last longer on the shelves. A few extra drops should do the trick. Mix everything thoroughly in this shameful act of deception. Shocking footage has surfaced revealing the production process of fake beef using plastic in factories, sparking outrage among consumers in China. Report exposes the shocking use of plastic in factories to produce fake beef in China, sparking widespread outrage. Unethical vendors have been caught blending plastic with meat to increase profits, jeopardizing public health. This disturbing revelation underscores the urgent need for stricter food safety regulations and greater oversight in the industry. Would you dare to consume such hazardous meat? As beef prices skyrocket, businesses are turning to cheaper alternatives like chicken, duck, or pork to create synthetic meat, flavored with additives to mimic beef. Today, I'll expose how some unethical eateries substitute duck meat to fake genuine beef. This concoction is essentially processed duck meat with additives like water-retaining agents. Dubious businesses even mix this duck meat with beef essence to pass it off as authentic beef. After thorough mixing and adding starch, we fry the duck meat until cooked, then set it aside. Next, we stir-fry it with peppers, chicken stock, MSG, black pepper sauce, and a hint of soy sauce. This results in a dish resembling beef, but the discerning eye can spot the differences. Genuine beef has a denser texture and chewier consistency, unlike this softer, slipperier duck meat. So, be cautious when dining out and watch out for counterfeit beef dishes. Some manufacturers go to great lengths to replicate the surface texture of beef, making it virtually indistinguishable from authentic beef. They utilize leftover beef scraps, mix them with additives, and create synthetic mincemeat that resembles genuine minced beef. Some even use meat from diseased animals or aged sows to cut costs. Coloring agents are added to replicate the appearance of fresh beef, and some even use eggs, starch, or plant protein to create a fake composite meat that looks and feels like real beef. The prevalence of counterfeit beef is concerning, especially when consumers may unknowingly consume it in dishes like boiled or stir-fried beef at restaurants. Let's delve deeper into a prevalent counterfeit beef variety that has infiltrated the restaurant scene for over a decade: Mongolian meat. Despite its name, Mongolian meat doesn't actually contain any beef. It's often mistaken for Mongolian beef, but the truth is far from it. On September 9, 2023, a scandal rocked Inner Mongolia University, the sole 211 university in the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region. The university canteen was exposed for substituting duck meat in place of beef and lamb, resulting in a hefty fine of 270,000 yuan. Following public outcry, the Market Supervision Administration of Xi'an District, Hohhot, Inner Mongolia, took action on September 4, issuing an administrative penalty notice regarding the use of duck meat instead of beef and lamb in the East Campus canteen of Inner Mongolia University South Campus. The investigation revealed a turnover of 16,374 yuan from the stalls substituting duck meat. As a consequence, the authorities confiscated the illegal earnings and imposed a hefty fine of 270,000 yuan. According to reports from the paper, lamb rolls blended with pork and duck meat are a common occurrence. These rolls, along with beef rolls containing duck meat, are widely available on various e-commerce platforms, often advertised for hot pot, barbecue, and buffet restaurant use. Additionally, there are mixed meat rolls made by assembling meat chunks and adding water for tenderness. Prices for lamb and beef rolls mixed with duck meat range from 7 to 15 yuan per kilogram, while mixed meat rolls are priced between 12 and 30 yuan per kilogram. Pure lamb rolls typically cost between 45 and 60 yuan per kilogram. Given the high selling price of lamb at Super Island Hot Pot, the profit margin is significant. With their adeptness at deception, Chinese traders have made counterfeit products virtually identical to genuine ones, making them difficult to discern. Fake rice. Next, a staple food of China, plain rice. Have you ever witnessed the horrifying production process of plastic rice? Picture this: streams of white plastic endlessly fed into a machine, churning out dough-like substances from the other end. The dough is then processed through wire drawing and threading machines, magically transforming into shiny plastic rice. It's a similar scene in this video: some mysterious gel-like substance poured in, and out comes what appears to be rice. Even the trendy self-heating rice products aren't safe from deception. While the rice in supermarkets boasts clarity and distinct grains, the rice in these meals resembles long, thread-like strands with tiny bubbles inside, hardly resembling real rice. What's being sold is essentially reconstituted rice, made from a mishmash of rice, wheat, and cornstarch, loaded with seasonings and additives. Despite its rice-like appearance, it's nutritionally lacking due to the production process, making it unfit for long-term consumption. Adding to the deception is the rise of natural green rice, supposedly a northeastern Chinese specialty. However, many locals only learned about it recently. Despite claims of being free from colorants and additives, reviews reveal a different story. Ingredients like corn flour, spinach, flour, mulberry leaf powder, fresh bamboo leaf powder, and water dominate the list, everything but rice. Cooked, it looks fresh but fades in color, sticking together like glue and offering a texture akin to chewing on glue. It's a far cry from nutritious food, more like a dental hazard. Fake wine and beer. Even beverages cannot escape the ambition to profit from fake beer, wine, both domestic and imported. Counterfeit liquor is rampant in China, particularly wine, which is a rampant issue, especially with expensive imported varieties being the most common targets. Dishonest traders not only swap out genuine products for inferior ones but also resort to using their own low-quality wines to mimic high-end imports. The video below illustrates their deceitful methods in detail, showcasing just how far they go to produce these fake beverages. Have you ever been fooled by this kind of XO liquor? Today, I'll reveal the secret of how plain water turns into XO. This is a tub of plain water. First, pour in the seasoning according to the proportion of alcohol content. Adding alcohol can generate the aroma of wine and the desired alcohol content. Then, add food coloring to the water, and instantly it turns into the color of XO. But where does the taste of XO come from? We symbolically add some bulk brandy to season it, and that's how a tub of 7,000 milliliters of XO is blended. And yet, the cost is less than 5 yuan. Beverages infused with the essence of life. Quite similar. Continue adjusting the champagne props. Done. Bright color, the liquor is cloudy. Below, seems a bit lacking. Perfect. In recent years, many Chinese businessmen have shown great interest in investing in foreign wineries, and many of these small wineries have turned into channels for counterfeit alcohol. Yet its cost is only half or even a third of the authentic counterparts. Why do so many barbecue and seafood buffet spots provide unlimited draft beer? Today, I'll uncover the process behind this cheap bulk beer, costing less than a cent. It's simple, just 4 steps. First, fill a basin with water. Then, add 2 spoonfuls of malt powder and mix evenly. Notice the beer's color now? Step 2, add some alcohol for flavor. Just a little, we don't want to get drunk. Stir again. The alcohol aroma is there, but we're missing foam, the essence of beer. Add a spoonful of citric acid for zest, and another baking soda for fizz. Did you see how the foam appeared instantly? Incredible! Now the beer has color and texture, but it's missing the beer taste. Add a touch of beer essence for an immediate burst of flavor. Pour yourself a glass now. The video exposes how authentic Maodai bottles are easily replaced with counterfeits, alongside the widespread counterfeiting of high-end baijiu and imported wines. Despite security measures by distilleries, counterfeiters persist, emphasizing the need for stronger anti-counterfeiting efforts. As Chinese society grapples with poisoned milk powder, tainted vaccines, and contaminated classrooms, it's clear that the food crisis is spiraling out of control. The government's feeble attempts at food safety regulation are nothing but empty promises, leaving citizens vulnerable to poisoning. The lack of transparency, legal loopholes, and declining social trust only compound the issue. In a regime of deception and toxicity, navigating life becomes an endless struggle for the Chinese people.